guys, Steve from B&S Customs here. I got my buddy Jim with me. Today we're going to do a ride rundown on his 2013 Shelby GT500 Mustang. So Jim, how'd you come about the car? What'd you have before the Shelby here, and why'd you choose to get this one?
I had a 1996 Mustang Cobra that I had for something like 10 years. Done a lot of work to it, and everything that I did to the car seemed to make it better, but in some way a little bit worse. So when they came out with this car, it was kind of a dream car of mine, and I thought that in a couple of years I could probably afford one on the used market.
Right.
So that's what I did. I sold my 96 Cobra, and a couple of years later I was without a car for about 3 years, and this was in the showroom, and it was optioned exactly the way I would have bought one if it was new, except for the color. I did want white with blue stripes, but it was priced right and very low miles and absolutely perfect condition, so I pulled the trigger.
Unique options you got in the car. Anything special about this one?
I guess it basically has every option. It's got the track pack, and there's one other package that I forget what they call it now, but it got you, you know, it was basically 2 packages you could get. One got you like, I don't even remember anymore what they all included, but this one has everything.
It looks like you don't have the stripes on it either. Did you get a delete package on the striping?
Yeah, the guy that bought the car new did.
That's right, yeah, because you're second owner.
And actually, that's, other than the white with the blue stripes, if I was going to buy one, I would buy it without the stripes as well. I do, you know, the white is nice, but the blue stripes just is such a classic look.
Yeah,
you know.
Looking at the front, you know, first thing I said to you today too was, even though I've seen the car many times, is I noticed there's no front grille.
There's no wire mesh, which I believe was specific to the 13-14. I think the 11-12 GT500 had something in there, and for whatever reason it's not in. But I get that question a lot. People think that I took it out when I did not. So it kind of looks tough. It's a little scary maybe when you're going down the road. You think you might, you know, eat a rock that would damage something, but in 2-3 years I haven't had any problems. So.
You and my wife, you guys have gone SCCA racing with this just out of the blue, and what position did you and her finish in with this car?
I had to remember, I was first, and I think she was second.
Yeah, I think you are correct. That's impressive, just to walk into a parking lot SCCA event without going every week and just take first, second place with this car. That says a lot about the car and even your driving skills too, I'd say.
Especially when you consider that this is really not the car for autocross. It's way big and overpowered. And
so the blue heads look awesome on this. Have you done any mods to the engine since you've owned it?
I did a cold air kit and a pulley and, you know, a tune.
Do you know what gears are in the rear end?
331s.
Okay.
Yeah, so relatively, for a car of its ilk, is relatively mild gear.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's how they get it to go 200 miles an hour or something.
Yeah.
And,
and try and get the gas mileage out they have to get too.
And it does get decent gas mileage. It gets better gas mileage than. And actually, it gets about a mile per gallon better than with the new tune and the pulley than it got stock. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So wow, you got these beautiful Recaro racing seats. It looks like they came stock with it. It's got the awesome Cobra embroidering on it. It's kind of weird, and you and I were talking about this before, how it has some Cobra badging on it, but it's not really a Cobra. It's a Shelby GT500. You find that a lot of people don't know what the car is when you bring it somewhere. They all think it's a Cobra.
Yeah, everybody calls it a Cobra. It's so invasive that I basically tell people it's a Cobra now.
Yeah, just to save the discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you don't have the stripes on the car, which do say GT500 down the side of the car, you don't know. And really, the only spot is on the dash here where it does say that. But otherwise, and I don't think it's those floor mats for stock. I think that the guy that owned the car before bought those. The seats are an option as well, which are nice at the track, but they're less comfortable.
Yeah, obviously.
You know,
they felt great though when I moved the car earlier today. It was something else. Getting into the back seat. Oh, that's a nice feature to get in the back seat. Actually, that pops down.
Yeah, and then you can just hit this, and the whole seat goes.
Oh, that's pretty slick. Does it slide forward too, or do you have to still do it from the front?
Let's
see.
I don't think.
Nope.
You gotta do it manually.
Yep. And I'm not gonna try climbing in there. It looks tight enough, but everyone can see.
Funny thing
buckets
about
in the back.
Car, you spend this kind of money on a car and extra money on fancy seats, and they're not power. You know,
yeah.
Car is not something you want to get in and drive for 2 hours. You know? It's just not comfortable, and I'm a taller person, so that just makes it less comfortable.
Right.
You know, and these seats are meant really more for the track than all-day comfort. But it's not horrible either, you know.
Yeah, we were just talking about getting into the car here, and he's already noticed a lot of excessive wear on the You know, the bolster there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's commonplace. So
when I get in, I try and get in real gently and
miss
not
it.
slide against it. And if there's any buttons on your jeans, you gotta be careful.
Oh, here it has the annoying Ford beep. So anything unique on here? Touchscreen at all? Is it all button? Nice Cobra.
It's touchscreen. Got navigation, which again was an option. You know, I believe this car has every option. It's got full navigation. It's got a hard disk drive, which is really nice. You can load your CD in. It'll read it, put it into a menu, and you can play from it. Just take the CD out and you're done. And which my wife had in her last car, and she misses in this car horribly.
Right.
Because it's so much easier than dealing with your iPods and your thumb drives or whatever else you can do. It's just all crap. So
looking at the gauges you look pretty straight on and straightforward at you. We got RPMs on the right, got the speedometer on the left. Let's get this. There we go. Beautiful. Even another mini HUD in the middle of that. Nice layout. Steering wheel looks great too. So this is the coupe. Looks like you have a sun visor. Oh, nice. You got a sunscreen here.
Yeah. So it's a glass roof, which is not removable or anything.
That's nice though.
But it's nice. It's I rarely need the visor, even in bright sun. It's tinted just enough where you get some light, and it makes the car feel a little bigger.
Yeah. Storage-wise, center console, you got
two
cup holders.
A locking console here.
Right. Looks pretty deep down there.
Yep.
Out on the doors, anything on the side there, the door pockets? Nope, just a big speaker.
There's a pocket that's basically useless because it's too hard to get at.
Right. And you got a standard glove box, it looks like.
Yep.
That's good. And a 12 volt on the dash.
Yep.
There it goes.
Yep. All sorts of different menu items here. You have, of course, your trip computers, which is nice. Miles per gallon on a trip. Settings for the fuel economy.
Will this do? I know the Chargers have the performance stats in there for 0 to 60, quarter mile, stuff like that.
Yeah, it has launch control, which I try
you don't
to
need
use
the standard.
it. Yeah. Accelerometer.
Yep. Sorry.
Acceleration timer, so you can use it, all the way up to quarter mile. And then brake performance, you can measure how quickly the car stops, which I just put new tires on the car, and I wish I had done this before to see the difference.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you can change your shock absorber setting. There's two settings, a sport and a normal. And there is enough of a difference where I do actually use it. I do use it usually in sport. I find normal is a little more comfortable, but if you're just driving down the road and all of a sudden you want to get a little jiggy with somebody, it's a little scary. Because the back end becomes a little
dicey,
a little unsafe. So you can change your gauge cluster, the color.
Oh yeah, the LEDs in there and everything.
Yeah, you can change like the outer ring and then what the backlighting of the speedometer and the tach and all that. Mm-hmm. And that also changes like the mood lighting. There's ambient lighting underneath and the cup holders and then the sill plates. So all that changes. That's
really cool. I remember back in the 90s, we used to go out of our way to try and find radios that would match the color of our dashes in the cars, and now you don't worry about it anymore. You just change the dash to match the radio you buy.
When I'm coming home at night, the screen is kind of bright, and you can turn it.
Yeah, the dimmer.
Turn it off. You can do like you can dim it, or you can turn it right off.
Yeah.
So and it's easy because there's a dedicated button for it. Which a lot of things that these modern cars. Everything is.
There's not. It's all inside a menu somewhere, and you gotta go truck and find it. Yeah.
And you don't bother because it's always when you're driving. And it's not safe to do that. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's go for a ride, and you can scare the living shit out of me.
I bought this car with the idea that it was fast enough and everything was good enough where I wouldn't never want to change it. And the last thing I want to do is hurt the value of the car or make it a car that isn't as nice in comfort and drivability as it was when it was new.
Right.
So I've been very sparing as to what I've done to the car. And the first thing I did to the car was lowering spring.
You drop it an inch?
I went down 1.25 inches roughly.
Okay.
Front and back. And but the spring rate's the same and everything. And what I immediately noticed, the car turned in a lot better when I did that.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yet it's just as comfortable, and it's already a low car, and you still have to be careful. Between that and the tune, that's kind of all I'm willing to ever do to this car. At least that's what I say today. And you know how it is every time you go.
Oh, I know.
You want to go faster. But.
Yep. It's good enough to have some fun. Like right now. Oh yeah! Woo! Well, my elbow ball just came out of my head when we stopped there. The specs for it were 630 something horse and 640 horse, 630 torque, something like that.
662.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like I said, scare the living shit out of me. Every time.
Yeah, I had it out earlier today and ran through the gears. It did like 100-foot burnout going into second gear with traction control on, you know.
Yeah, it stops pretty good.
And one of the knocks on this car has always been the brakes. And they're great, but I guess if you're on a track, they don't hold up. So,
yeah, you probably get some fade after a while, maybe.
They'll put them out there on tracks like Watkins Glen and run it up against a Z01, and the Z01 can go all day and have no problems. This car, 2-3 laps in, and you got brake fade. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know why, because they're, like 6-piston Brembos or something, like with like 14, 15-inch discs. So I don't know what it is.
It's not gonna do that.
The thing is, my wife, even like, there's been a few times where I've been to my wife's work and people that she works with see the car and they're just like, I mean, this is like 40, 50-year-old people that are just like in awe of this, this Mustang, and everybody knows what it is. You go everywhere you go, it's parked on the road, and if you're near it, you see people walk by, they immediately start talking about it.
Oh yeah. I was at the track with you, and everyone at the track had to come over and check it out, and they were just in awe over that it was a GT. I'm sorry, a Shelby GT500, I should say.
Because you don't, like we talked about with the production numbers, there's not of any of them out there, and they only made this car.
Yeah, it was 4,880. I think we saw him in black. I think it was 286 or something.
It's really low numbers, and they only made this car in this, with this drivetrain and this body style for 2 years.
Well, there you have it. Hope it helped you out. Maybe make a decision on buying the car or not. Please remember to like the videos and subscribe if you can. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Have a good night.